many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years.
Counting or not counting gang violence?
Great.
You guys okay? Okay, love you. Be safe.
Welcome back, everybody. I am here with the one, the only, Jack Crowley. Like I said in my summary video leading up to this, he's one of the best in the world at what he does. Teaches TCCC, Stop the Bleed, Life Tissue, Hospital Corpsman, Combat Veteran, Bronze Star with Valor, Purple Heart, and if I'm not mistaken, you were the 2015 Medic of the Year for the National Register of EMTs and North American Rescue. Is that correct?
North American Rescue and National Association of
National
BMTs. So even though they're
Association.
partners, separate.
Yeah,
And then there's 2020 Wow Valor, but like I told you earlier, I know you don't like me being quote unquote humble, but I have a bunch of alphabets too, so I'm just a regular dude.
and you teach military, you teach contractors, you teach police, you teach everybody, correct?
Yeah, whoever wants to learn, and I try to learn from them too.
So so you were Medic of the Year for two different prestigious organizations.
You know,
See, I told you, super humble guy. You guys know me, criminal investigator, former Navy corpsman, just like Jack. I did search and rescue, flight medic. I'm currently a FLETC TCCC instructor, and we're gonna get into this. So the first thing that I kind of want to talk about when we look at this shooting, right? Um, the one question that I've been getting email, text, call more than anything. I really want you to help understand this. We're talking about a neck wound, carotid artery. We saw how much blood came out. How long does it take the human body to dump the blood that's in their system when you receive an injury like that? Can you kind of
well,
talk us through that?
for American College of Surgeons, NAMT, TCCC, and all the alphabet soups, 3 to 5 minutes, and sometimes shorter than that. But yeah, usually a couple minutes. Or I would just spurt out like immediately. And you think about it, when you have that much blood come out, it keeps going. Eventually, you're going to bleed out within minutes.
No,
So,
that's kind of my experience too. And give us kind of some background on some of the shock trauma stuff that you saw overseas and what people need to understand with this kind of wound that people may not really
well,
understand.
with junctional wounds to neck wounds, we actually teach. Not a lot of people do this, but I still teach like the diagonal method where you got to make pressure on the neck. Not only just with direct pressure, but also with the pressure bandages, wound packing, all that jazz. There's even the IT clamp too. But to be honest, an IT clamp and all these other stuff, the caliber. What do you know? What caliber he was hit by any chance or no?
I don't think we know yet, but we definitely, from what I'm getting from my sources, it was a bolt action, so I'm guessing it's going to be something at least 223 and larger.
Yeah, because I mean, if you look at the statistics for Iraq and Afghanistan per TCCC, there was some people that survived from neck injuries or shot in the neck. There has been, but I mean, it can be way for hits like the windpipe trachea or whatever, choke on the bullet, they're done then. But even then, a lot of the paramedics, even people in my recent posts, like that been around the block, kind of like we have, like yeah, he's been there. There's not much you can do. But what I want to say is this: with Charlie's security staff and the police there, even though it was a clusterfuck and everyone's money, quarterbacking, they did something compared to the woman that bled out in the train that sat there in shock. The Ukrainian woman that got stabbed by that one gentleman. Nobody did shit. But for this, I'd rather you do something than nothing.
Right.
Reason why I say that is I had people that I knew were going to die, and their families were watching me, or other troops were watching me. I at least looked like I was trying. And you probably did the same thing as a corpsman or cop too.
Right.
Like, oh yeah, this person's going to die, but hey, at least I'm trying.
Yeah, I can think of the most recent case for me was a gentleman that basically had congenital heart failure, and I when I got there I knew
Yeah,
he was gone, but I continued to do CPR, and then you started to get the blood started pooling. He started to basically the it looked like coffee grinds, right? The
yep.
blood looked like coffee grinds, and it started coming out, but his whole family was watching, and I wanted them to at least know that hey, and they said it helped them afterwards. I talked to her a couple months later, and she told me I knew that he was already gone, but just having you there doing something really helped with the healing, really helped with, just the acceptance of what happened. And so I completely agree. So what should his team? I mean, I don't even know what his team is trained on, but if that was you, if you were there, if you were one of the armed guys that's on his detail, and that happened, what are you immediately thinking from being a combat veteran, T-Triple-C instructor? What are you thinking?
Get off the X. Get them
And
off
can
the
you
X.
can you explain to people that don't know what that means? Can you explain that?
Get off the zone. Get off the area where you got shot. Um, figure out where it came from. Get it out of there. Um, direct pressure with blood. Basically get them off, pressure come out, and then reassess whatever intervention you do. Reassess. Everyone's like, oh, C-spine, this, that. But the problem with C-spine is it takes a minute. And also, if you're covering up the neck with a collar, that could be a problem. And then also with packing wounds or wound pressure bandages, that takes a little bit of time too. If you're sitting there where you got shot, you're probably, if the guy was still there, not, no, if you actually want to be vindictive. And I think people tend to forget that. Like if you had a like extended mag, or if it was like the shooter with Trump or whomever, or the shooter from Route 91, all these shooters, if they were trained like me and you, like imagine if you had a belt fed, saw. He's like, all right, cool, I hit the target. I'm just gonna spray, make it chaotic, and dip.
Yeah,
That's what the Taliban did. I mean, I think people don't realize that bad guys or people that want to do harm, they have time. And there's a saying I tell people that I heard from somebody once before: bored mind's a dangerous mind. They have Google too. They can Google and YouTube all these shooters. Just like the shooter in was it Minneapolis? He wrote shit on the mags, exactly like the shooter in New Zealand. They're copycatting each other, and people don't understand that.
that's a great point. I was actually going to bring that up. Um, Yeah, so if we look at what the FBI is coming out with, I guess for the bolt action rifle, it was found in a wooded area wrapped in a towel, and on the individual casings and on the magazine has, I guess, some transgender or anti-fascist terminology on it. And I was going to say the exact same thing. This is something in law enforcement that we see. We call this a clue, and so I agree. I think that there was definitely some planning that was done here. And one of the questions that a lot of people are asking me is, well, why weren't they able to find the guy? And I have to go back to the fact that the police chief there, he had to come out and kind of eat crow. He said he only had 6 uniformed officers at the event, and there was thousands of people there. So you have Charlie Kirk's detail, you have 6 uniformed officers. That's just not enough. That's not enough. And I don't know if they were thinking that, hey, this is red state Utah. We're, very conservative, very Mormon, we're going to be fine. But I think that just kind of placated to the issue. I mean, realistically, in an event like that, all resources are going to the wounded. They're going to him, Charlie Kirk. You know how easy it was for this guy just to get up and just walk with the chaos in the crowd and get out. I mean, it was zero effort, and that's what a lot of people don't realize is when you don't have the venue that's secured in the way that is and efficient at all. I'm not surprised that they haven't found him. In fact, I mean, he could be long, long gone. I mean, I don't want to get into all the conspiracies of it, but kind of like what you were saying, like this wasn't even the most well thought out attack. Like if you're talking about what we've seen over, what you've seen overseas, and what I've seen, based upon my training experience and the stuff that I've investigated, like you're absolutely right. Had you had some kind of automatic weapon, or had you had something that created initial carnage at a very high level, or an explosion even, and then because IEDs, that I mean, you have a lot of experience with that, and then you dipped out. I mean, the amount of resources that it's going to take to find you, I mean, you're going to be long gone before anybody can actually put anything together. And if you have a plan to escape, and you have a plan to get out of Dodge, and you've actually planned this out better than wrapping a rifle up and throwing it in a wooded area, man, they wouldn't even have that.
Yeah, imagine if he was trained like me and you, or even worse, he put IEDs in the area, booby traps, or even had like a Barrett 50 cal saw. Like, if you got nothing to lose, this is the thing I want to tell this to cops or any first responders.
Yeah,
If somebody has nothing to lose, they have nothing to lose, and they'll go all out before they go out.
right. I
That's
agree.
what I'm that the Taliban did the same shit. That whole wrapping thing, that's nothing new. They did that in Afghanistan where they wrapped the barrels or they put like a wet towel so the dust doesn't kick up so we don't find out where they are. It's nothing new. Again, these people they're doing this, they have social media, they have phones, they have Google.
So what you're saying is, and I agree with you, this shooter, based upon the limited information we have, is using basic level tactics that the Taliban was using 10, 15 years ago.
It's not just Taliban, but just okay, like all these other shootings over the years, like Columbine, Aurora. It's people don't understand. I mean, again, the shooter from Minneapolis, he's trying to be like Joker and all dark and emo and mysterious, but it's not a new concept.
Right.
It's not. It's been going on for decades, if not longer.
I
It
I
kills me
agree.
that and then because I watched your video about the training in Ohio, which is a joke. I mean, let's be real. FEMA and all this other bullshit. It's online training. Like, what the fuck? Like, dude, there's the thing called FEMA test answers. Like, I'm sorry, but like all this training in public safety and military, this like clickbait bullshit. It doesn't fucking work, and people need to understand that.
100%. It's absolutely for the lowest common denominator, and it's meant to be a participation award. Participation award.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
what it
It.
is.
It's corporate. It's ran like a corporation, and with military and public safety, nursing, all this other shit that you and I've been involved with over the years. Stop making it a social experiment. Stop having corporate America. And I hate to talk shit, but with the government, CIA, all these other alphabet soups, win fucking wars. You want people to support you, win fucking wars. There you go.
Yeah, no. Gosh, we agree on too much. So let me kind of let me kind of push back. And I'm not pushing, I agree with you, but I gotta push, I gotta at least attempt to show that I push back. So as you know, the civilian sector, when it comes to tactical medicine, I just call it just people call ditch medicine ditch medicine. It's just medicine that works. But you were talking about the C-spine, spinal stuff. Now, I've gotten tons of let me give you a great example. I had a case not too long ago. It was a car accident. Basically, guy got drunk, drove his Camaro, got ejected, and he was in the bottom of a ravine. And he was basically, he was suffocating on his own blood and teeth. You know how that goes. And so I'm
Yeah.
like, we got to get him out of the ravine because the ravine is starting to fill up with water. It's starting to rain. We got to get him out of here. And then the first thing the EMTs that are on, well, we have to spinal backboard him because it might paralyze him. And that's when I realized like they are still taught. I mean, this is recent, brother. Like this is not like super long ago. This
Oh,
was
I
just
know.
recent. And literally, it's 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. The ravine is filling up with water. He's already choking on his own blood and teeth. And these medics, the best trained that we have, right? They can't get over the fact that they have to C-spine watching him drown in a pool of his own blood with the water rising. Like in their mind, there was no way they were going to get away from this template of, well, we got a C-spine, be at the, Dawn BSI, like, and coming from a military background, you have to do what you have to do. Like, I don't have the resources you have, and I had better resources than the grunts did, right? Bless your heart, I at least had a helicopter filled with gear, but you have this mentality that's like we have to do all this. I totally disagree with it, but how do you push back? Like in a case like this, I think that even
Education.
the
So
idea that you're going to entertain C-spine in the Charlie Kirk shooting shows how dumb and ignorant you are. But how do you push back? How do you push back smartly?
easy, easy. Okay. If they're EMTs, let's say you and I are seen, right? Let's say I was on the scene for whatever reason. Like, okay, he's choking on his blood and water, right? That's the first thing. Airway, bleeding, bleeding in the airway, right? The whole Marsh algorithm. If he like, I'm more worried about that. You don't have an airway, you don't have a patient. Simple. Like, I don't give a fuck about C-spine and all that shit. If he's like shit in the bed, I don't give a fuck about all that. And I think over the years, they realized with C-spine and all that other shit, it actually did more harm than good, especially for time on scene. And there's actually studies about that too. So my pushback to you is, all right, if he's choking on his own blood, okay, I want to take care of that before anything else. And he's also bleeding. So that's like my immediate, like, I don't give a fuck about all the other shit. I don't care.
Right. No, I completely agree with you. And so what we end up doing is I said, I don't care. I said, I basically told him I didn't care. I said, I told another officer to grab a backboard. And we have to remember we're in a ravine, so I have to somehow get him from the bottom all the way to the top to the highway because we're calling in a bird. So I end up taking some good old boy came up in a dually. I said, "You don't go anywhere. I need you." He's like, "Yeah, sure." So he had toe straps. We connected toe straps to a backboard. I just grabbed old boy. I picked him up. I put him on the backboard. I strapped him in, and I had that good old boy start to pull him out. No shit, using his truck, like slowly pulling it up, and I'm holding the backboard with another person as we're slowly just walking it up. No sea color, no nothing. But this is life over limb. Like the most important thing I can do is be as gentle as I can, but get him out of the ravine onto the highway so we can get him to the helicopter. Plain and simple, you know. But this medic was like, you could get sued for this, and that the only thing he wanted to talk about was risk management, which I get, it's cool. But as you know, in the military and in first responders, we can risk manage our way out of a job. Look at the Uvalde shooting, right? That's all
Well,
it was.
and that and like I threw it right back to the medic. I'm like, bleed and or suffocation and or vomit and choking. Like, if he was a good enough medic, he should have been like, okay, yeah, fuck all the other bullshit. We got to take care of his breathing and airway and bleeding. Like that whole. It's the same thing when I did fire and EMS when I started in like 2006, 2007. They used to teach us the backboard everywhere. It's such a waste of fucking time.
Yeah,
And
no,
it really is.
I
It
agree.
really is. Like,
I agree.
I mean, it kills me that people still do that. It's like, okay, that's great, but did the patient complain about neck pain? Oh wait, he's choking on his own blood. He can't complain. He's not talking.
Yeah, it's hard for him to complain if he's dead.
Yeah, or if he's dying. Like it's kind of like, and I used to tell people like, well, if they don't have a head, they're dead. That's easy triage 101.
Right. So another question people have been asking, um, had you been there or a guy like you, what do you think I mean, I know you can't give a definite chance of survival, but is this something that was just doomed to fail? I mean, there was, I mean, I looked at it, it's pretty egregious. No matter who was there, what was the likelihood if he was going to survive something like this, regardless of who was there?
Probably not. He probably wasn't going to survive. But again, back to my earlier point, they did something. They got him out of there. Compared to the Ukraine girl got stabbed in the train by old boy who has been to prison and been
Gosh,
convicted multiple
yeah,
times. Like everyone there in the train, they just got up and left. They're like, oh, white girl got stabbed. All right, whatever. It's like
right.
a Tuesday for him. But
Yeah.
God forbid if the roles were changed, that city would have burned by
Oh,
now.
there you go again. There you go again with that
But I
common
mean,
sense, Jack.
let's call a spade a spade. I'm neither left nor right anymore. Let's call a spade a spade. Like, well, I mean, seriously,
You know
like
what's sad? It's never been more radical to be in the middle than it is right now. I think being a centrist is the most radical thing you can do right now, Jack, and that's what you're doing.
well,
You
no,
better
I
be
mean
careful.
both sides. Well, I don't care. Like both sides contradict each other. It's like,
You better be careful,
well,
bro.
okay, one
There's no
side.
dangerous side to be right now. You got to pick
But
a
here's the
side.
deal: one side wants protection, and the other side wants equality, but they can't get along. Tell me I'm wrong.
I can't tell you wrong because you're right. Okay, so let me kind of again. I'm not trying to push back, but let's look at this from. So, were you able to see the video of them carrying
Yes.
him out? Um, I've been asked a few questions about that. Um, what do you think? What do you teach? Let's go with it because I know you teach carries. I teach carries too. What do you train?
Well, I mean, communication. I mean, also make sure everyone everyone. If there's more of everyone's communicating. And for him, he doesn't seem like a big dude. I mean, I'm 6'3", 250 pounds on a good day ish, maybe sometimes more. But like, I'm a big dude. I know it's going to take more than one person to carry me. Same with you. Like, we're both thick boys. But like I said, if it's a dude like that, dude like you and I, we carried bigger people than that. But it's all about communication. It's all about movement, and it's all about execution. If you don't have communication, it's going to fail. So like I didn't see when they picked him up. I saw him carry him to the Suburban or whatever. And I
Right.
don't know if they had an EMT on scene. I don't know if there was an EMT in Suburban. I don't know if the EMT is with them. But I'm assuming if they did any interventions, they would reassess for what we're taught. But again, like there's been times where I fucked up on scene stateside. There's times where I fucked up downrange in combat. I show that to my students in my classes. I'm like, look, I goofed up too, but I learned from it. And over the years, when I worked with like solid EMTs, medics, and nurses and doctors, are like, we all learn from each other. Like, all right, now I know what to do better next time, because there's always going to be a next time, especially with shit like that. I
Dude,
mean,
I love
the shit ain't gonna. It's not gonna go away. So it's like, all right, because I guarantee you and I have seen people eat shit. I've seen people drop people on backboards too. I've seen people drop people on like the tubby tarps, the fucking pull litters.
dude, I've seen some stupid stuff. I've seen some dude, Sar Corman, I love him to death, dude. I love flight medics, but I have seen some stupid
Yeah,
stuff.
you probably
I
seen
have
people
some
eat
I
shit
have
in
some
soak
videos
baskets.
that I am not allowed to share. I have some
Oh,
videos
I
I'm
do
not allowed to
too. I
share.
mean, but yeah, like, dude, human nature happens, man. When you don't communicate, and like, oh, I
Oh
thought,
man.
because it's like on three, and they're like three, and they pick them up and people drop it. Like I've seen that happen too.
So let me ask you another question here. So I look at the carrying thing, right? And what the most discerning thing from the carries for me was the fact that he was no longer bleeding, right? We no longer saw a blood trail. That pretty much for me, that kind of solidified it because I observed nobody was holding pressure and there was no massive blood loss. Like we couldn't see any more blood loss. So that's what kind of told me like, oh, this
Probably
is
because it bled out.
yeah. I was like, this is really bad. This is really bad. That's when
Let
for
me ask you
me,
this: what
yeah,
does skin look like? What does skin look like? Do you look
he
pale
looked
and
pretty pale.
clammy?
I
'Cause
mean,
that's
it's
enough.
hard to tell, but yeah, I mean, I just without the blood loss and no blood trail, like it was man. So here's a question. Here's a question that I know people have already asked. So obviously we're talking about junctional injuries, right? Um, you can't tourniquet that. So what kind of things should people be looking at to have? Because I think this is a great example of how like, hey man, like your traditional tourniquet, like the things you think you're gonna use, you can't. So what should people really start thinking about? What do they need to train?
Packing wounds, pressure bandages, and making sure creating the pressure while making the going diagonally. If you go across, it's gonna cut off the airway. That's why you gotta go diagonal.
And you teach all this stuff, right?
Of course.
Look at that. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. So
I mean, I did it on a actually my old partner and I did a pressure bandage on a horse that got hit with a car or whatever. And a bunch of it was like a horse truck or whatever. We did pressure bandage on a horse and people that got hurt, fucked up. And they had junctional injuries too. But I also did in combat too. I put junctional pressure bandages and stuff on people. I call it the tricky wounds because junctional wounds throw off so many people. They're like, oh,
right.
I can't put a tourniquet on. I don't know what to do. Like, I swear to God, so many people that don't know about wound packing, pressure bandages, all Irish chest shield, whatever it may. Like, they always think, and no offense to police, no offense to law
No,
enforcement.
please take
I swear
offense,
to
brother.
God, I swear to God, like, they're trained, put a tourniquet on, save the day. Narcan save the day. Let's be honest.
No, dude, here's the thing. I can't tell you how many times I've been on scene and I've yelled at people, I've thrown things. But again, it comes down to they don't know what they don't know. And this is what's so important. Cops at least have some. Here's the problem. Cops, firefighters, like just people with baseline training. I think they're the most dangerous because you have these cops that really think they know what they're doing because they did a 4 hour class like 5 years ago, and they don't. And that's what's scary. And honestly, like I've met so many first responders that make things worse because they're doing bad, really bad. You know what I mean? Like they're doing it with confidence. And so I completely agree. There's so many egregious things that I've seen that have just been, like I've ripped people off of patients before and been like, I don't know what it is you think you're doing, but you need us. I mean, I've seen injuries where people are putting the tourniquet directly on the injury, and I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like,
That,
who taught you
that's
this? You
and
know?
that's the problem. It's an identity crisis. Everyone wants to listen to the cool SF guys, from whatever.
There it is.
It's the
I
same.
knew he was gonna come out.
No. It's the same thing in Ukraine,
No, I
right?
love it. I love it. I love it. I
It's
love
the
it.
same thing we dealt with in Ukraine and Gaza, or some of my people that went on either side. You got these fucking assholes like, oh, he was special forces in the 80s or 90s, or he was Israeli this and that, or he
No,
was,
I'll be honest with you,
this.
brother. Nobody can brand not being special forces but being a badass better than you. Like I don't know anybody that brands it better than you, right? Like you're
Well, I'm on the
it's
special
like a badge of
forces.
honor. Like I'm not special forces, dude. I was a
I
grunt.
don't give a fuck. Like
I was
that's
a
why
grunt
I
corpsman.
saw.
I have a Bronze Star with Valor and Purple Heart.
No, I don't give a fuck
I was
about the
medic of the
medals, dude.
year.
I don't give a shit about the medals. Like these fucking assholes that do that shit. I mean,
Uh,
granted, there's been times I pull that card, but honestly, man, it gets old. It gets fucking old
I know.
because like
That's
it's
what I'm
fucking
saying.
people
I love
over.
it.
It's really it's fucking people over because it goes back what I was saying about like identity crisis and all this other stuff. I'm like, okay, great, you're X, Y, and Z, but what about the here and now? What can you do for me now? Like what like if I had like all these guys that got in trouble, like, Tim Kennedy or fucking sheriff or whatever, I kind of want to see how they act on the scene because I feel like if let's say like you're the cop, I'm the EMT on scene, they're like, oh, I'll help you clear the scene, and then like they ramble and ramble. It's like, all right, well, you're gonna actually do about it or talk about it or actually take action.
Right. No.
So many people. So many people want to talk, but nobody wants to take action. That's what I've noticed over the years. Everybody wants to be on Sean Ryan. Everybody wants to be like Eric Prince. Everybody wants to be cool guy, SF or mercenary, all this sort of bullshit. But nobody wants to put in the work, or nobody. And granted, I'm a little fat, but I can still run a mile and a half per Navy standards. I mean, let's be real. There's some fat chiefs in the Navy that look like they're 9 months pregnant. Like it's the same thing in police and fire departments. There's dudes. I mean, I sent you the picture of that one VAFD guy who's
Yeah.
400 pounds. He looks like I ate you. It's like
Yeah.
those are the same fucking assholes that put bullshit out there that doesn't work. They don't do evidence-based medicine. They want to cut corners. They want to look cool on Instagram and censor their face or have them stuff like, dude, stop. It's not working. It's not.
No, brother,
It's not.
I could
We're
not
not
agree
winning
with you more.
wars. We're getting our asses handed to us by people who are untrained. I mean, what's the video I sent you with the Columbus SWAT operators?
Yeah.
They got stabbed by three guys. Like three of them got stabbed by one guy. Imagine if that guy had a background like me and you, just like the guy who killed Charlie, or like the person that stabbed what's her face. These
Yeah.
are people that just have nothing to lose. When somebody has nothing to lose, they want to come after you. They'll go out of their way. They'll find ways to hurt you.
100
Whether they don't care.
100%. And that's kind of one thing I want to add to this is he had it so a lot of people don't know this about me. It's not something I personally like to advertise. But before I came to Oklahoma, a lot of people were like, why would you leave where you're at? Because I was a cop in Oregon, and then I came here. And one of the things I did in Oregon was I was on Ted Wheeler's, the mayor of Portland. I was on his executive protection detail. I was a sergeant on his detail, and I was in Portland during the mostly peaceful protests, the Summer of Love, and you know I I I learned a lot from that detail. Don't be wrong. A lot of life experience, a lot of growing up. I mean, you got to think like I joined law enforcement after I had already served, over a decade in the military, right? Like and even then I grew up really quick. I kind of grew up really quick, and it was one of those things that I got to see another side of law enforcement, of criminal justice that a lot of people don't realize. And when I look at this, um, it saddens me because I don't think, and we see it over and over again. I don't think these important, like we saw it with who's that guy that killed who's that guy that killed the insurance guy, the medical insurance.
Oh, Luigi Mangione.
Yeah, like I don't think these profile people understand how dangerous the world is around them, right? And don't take this as I don't think Charlie understood I don't take that as that, right? I'm not saying he didn't understand the issues, but what people don't realize is what you've already said, like these people that we're seeing causing this mass hysteria, they're untrained people. Like we
Yep.
have not seen, and I hate to say this, we have not seen armed combatants with training actually doing this stuff. Like we haven't seen it on that level yet. And I pray to God we don't. But I don't think you realize like somebody that has like just think about it. Like this guy lost his nerve and he threw the rifle away, right? Like he wrapped it up and threw it. Like, oh crap, they're coming after me, right? Imagine somebody that can take that shot and then be completely calm, cool, collected, in, out. Like, just imagine that. You know
I
what I
got
mean?
one. I got one for you. So history, right? Even from the old, I still like the older slides than CMC slides because the CMC tries to be all cartoony shit. Even though a couple of my friends are on the videos for T Triple C,
Right.
I liked how not only they talk about Ray and Tebby or whatever, but like the one thing I bring up in my classes, like what the Chechens did with Russians, like the whole movie theater thing with like that whole thing when they used ketamine to zonk people out. You know, a
Right.
lot of people died with no saliva. The Chechens, you know what they did? They're like, let's say like you and I are Chechens, right? We're in Russia. But hey, Mike, I want you to get a bunch of Chechen veterans and spread chaos around the country. Boom. That's simple. Like we all attack all at the same time, and then everybody be fucking confused in different locations and different. Their resources will be scarce because we know their resources are scarce. We know they're underpaid, understaffed, and hell, some of them might join us. That's what the Chechens did to the Russians. Same
Bro,
fucking shit.
I feel like you're in my mind right now. So there's a stat that just came, and I gotta find it, but there's a stat that came out that basically said if 3% of any given population here in the United States is just requesting calls for service, it would 3%, if 3% of the population had immediate or priority emergencies, it would totally destroy the criminal, it would destroy law enforcement. Like it would cause
Yeah,
national
I got
national
one. You
chaos.
want what? You want to be scared? You want to be scared as a
Yeah,
cop?
scare us, scare us.
All right. So let's say I'm a bad guy, right? There's a apps called Pulse Point and Waves. If I want to be a bad guy, it shows the location of EMS units and also police. It'd be like, okay, I'm gonna go like do an L-shaped ambush. I'm gonna T-bone this cop, get him ambush, L-shaped ambush, light him up, dip out. That's how simple it is.
Well, here in Oklahoma, we just had a fire. We just had a firefighter that got ran over. Like he was intentionally targeted, and he was hit.
Yeah.
Like we saw that in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, right? With fire and EMS being ambushed. So I don't think people realize how ineffective
Or
our first responders are going to be if you start targeting first responders and you start targeting infrastructure. Like, I don't think people realize like how bad this is going to
or
get.
if I really want to be an asshole, if I and this is theory. I mean, I don't want anybody getting butt out. Let's say I'm a bad guy again. I'm a
Hypothetically
hacker.
speaking,
No, I am. I'm not. But I'm not. I'm
we know you're not a hacker. We've seen your hands. I've seen your hands.
like let's say we have four bad guys. Right? Let's say I'm a let's. Oh, I know. Well, I'm terrible at technology, but anyway, and everyone can chill out. I'm joking about certain things, but also like being
It
real about
literally
this. So
took
let's say
him
we're
an
bad guys,
hour
right?
to get this Zoom thing going. All right, go ahead.
Well, I mean, I was also at the pool and chilling. The pool's about to close, but anyway. Um, Yeah, so let's say I'm a hacker, right? I'm like, hey, Mike, here's where all these cops live. Have fun.
Oh,
Simple.
yeah, yeah.
It's
Horrible.
like, I mean, I sent you that thing where in the dark web, there's a thing where they spam 911 centers while they do bad shit. They
Yeah.
have people call bullshit calls while they attack shit. And these everyone in public safety or military or alphabet soups, you gotta be careful because the bad guy cells are here. They're watching us. Like for example, I remember I was teaching a class years ago, and it was during the whole balloon thing, China thing, whatever.
Right.
And they're like, "Oh, China, this and that. We got OPSEC, this and that." I'm like, "Well," and I made a good point. Like, even though TCCC all shit's not really classified, medical's not really classified. I'm like, here's the deal: if they have slides in Chinese, they already know our shit.
Yeah. I can't. Yeah. No. You're. How do you argue
If
with that?
China is saying us shit from like, I mean, it's they have our shit. Like China has farmlands here in America. Like they're insidious. They have people here. Same with other terror groups and same with bad guys and cartels. They have people in the system.
Yeah,
They
I
do.
don't I don't know how you I don't even know how you I don't know how you argue that, right? Like because we know there's a we know there's counterintelligence operations going on here because our own government has admitted that they're here. So, it's just it saddens me. It really does because when we look at this shooting, it's horrible, and we're not going to get into the politics of it because really it doesn't matter at this point because I feel like we don't have in my opinion, this is how I feel about it. I don't feel like I have the luxury of speaking about the politics when we don't even have the ability to keep our own people safe because we have law enforcement that doesn't want to train, first responders that don't want to train, and we have U.S. citizens that want to train. I hate to break it to you. In my opinion, the politics don't even matter because we don't even have the ability to protect ourselves from an amateur. So I don't even have I don't feel like I have the right to even talk about the politics of it because we aren't even at the place we don't have the luxury at this point of talking about it. We're
Yeah,
not
I mean, we
trained.
do, we don't, because well, that not just that, but like you have freedom to do whatever you want for now, but you don't have freedom of consequence. And right now, you and I, if we talk shit to somebody nowadays, especially at a bar or even now, sometimes I get afraid somebody's talking shit. I'm like, man, how those dude has a gun or a switch on him. That's all it takes, man. Big fuck you, right in the face.
100%. And and it's just we have to be better. And this whole thing, again, I hate to say this, but this whole thing was doomed to fail from the beginning. You can't just have six uniformed officers for thousands of people. You can't just expect Charlie's team to be everything, right? Everything from because their only job is to take care of him, but now they have to do crowd control. Now they have to do, they have to do traffic control. Like they're doing all these various things that aren't within their purview as an executive protection detail to do. And then, in my opinion, I think we're starting to realize how important medics are, right? In the military, we've understood the Marine Corps is the best example of understanding how important medics are. They understand it's so important that they don't, I mean, the Marine Corps at any time
You
could
gotta
have
stay
decided,
cornered.
yeah,
You
well,
gotta
that's what I'm
stay
saying. The Marine Corps,
offend people.
are you there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I think I
Oh,
lost
I
you.
lost you.
So
Yeah, I can hear you.
the Marine Corps could at any time decide, hey, we're just going to train our own people, but they realize how important medicine is, and they're like, no, the Navy has a great program. We're just going to use them, right? Like having a medical person with medical expertise that can operate in those tough in that tough tumultuous environment, that austere environment is so important, and you're living proof of that, right? Like I'm not going to sit here because I'm not going to embarrass you because I know you'll just admittedly log off if I try to do it, but I obviously I've read your write-up. Like it's nothing but miraculous what you did.
They fucked up my write up too. There was actually seven, not three. There was actually seven, including
No,
myself. And
no,
also,
I understand. That's why I'm not going to read it because again, I know you'll just log off. But like you have done this at the highest level in the most chaotic environments. Like how important are these? How important is it for these executive protection details to have a medic, for law enforcement to have a full time medic? And I'm not talking about guys that ride the ambulance. No offense to them, I just don't think they get it. What do you think?
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I learned more after the military on the ambulance than I did. Like the Navy, don't get me wrong, corpsmen were good at trauma, whatever, right? But even then, I actually had a talk with one of my friends today, who was one of my IDC chiefs, 1-7, who actually was an IDC school instructor before he got out. And I told him, like, Kaz, like, I would trust you or Mike in the back of the squad, but there's some of the medics or corpsmen I worked with, some of them probably wouldn't know what to do. If I tell them, hey, put a 12 leader on, they'd be like, what? Like, you get what I'm saying? Or
Yeah,
like, or intubate this 1-year-old. Yeah, a lot of them would freak the fuck out for some of the shit I saw post military. Cause like some stuff, like that 1-year-old I did CPR on that overdosed on a pill when I was getting my advanced EMT ride time and working on my nursing shit. Like that humbled me because I thought that kid was gonna die, even though they brought him back with the locks. And it sucked having a kid tube or bet like doing CPR with a thumb. Like it's been a
yeah.
while since I did CPR on a baby, but when
I
you have
was
a
just
dead
talking.
child or
I
a
was
child,
talking to a nurse about that. Like like the times I've done it, I've done this, and I've always switched, and I think I'm gonna do my thumbs, and it doesn't work out that way.
you're supposed supposedly for AHA you're supposed to do two thumbs if there's two rescuers. Somebody's at the airway. You're supposed to. But I mean, you can do that. But like, again, depends on the situation. Depends.
Yeah,
Like
every
that's a
time
whole
I've
rabbit
had to
hole itself.
switch, every
Yeah,
time
that's a
I've had to
whole.
switch.
Well, again, that's the whole rabbit hole itself. But my point is like your average knuckle dragger, medic, and corpsman. I think we need to bring back ride time for like the military and civilians. We need to play it well together. We need to play nice with each other because obviously we're not unified. Obviously we're not learning, and obviously we're not winning wars, and obviously we're getting more shootings. Like you can say gun control, all this other bullshit, but we tried that. We tried a bunch of other shit, and it's not working. So we gotta switch it up a little bit.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, here's the thing. There's something I can tell you for certain, and I know it's unpopular, and I know I'm gonna get hate for it, but the truth is, this violence isn't going away. It's
No
not. And so
violence. war, racism, all this shit that we're bitching about, like when you and I die and leave this world, it's still gonna be around. The world's gonna spin with or without us. It doesn't
Yeah.
fucking matter.
So
People will always be people.
if you know, at the end of the day, for me, this is what it comes down to. Um, no matter what I say, no matter what I do, no matter how many prayers I pray, and I do believe that, God can work in mysterious ways. Don't get me wrong. But at the end of the day, like, you need to be able to take care of yourself. You need to have the training. You need to be able to do it because at the end of the day, the violence is never going away. So your ability to apply direct pressure to a junctional wound and save somebody's life, that very well could be something that you absolutely need to do. And that violence is always going to be here because guess what? As we're speaking, we talked about this right before we got on. The Naval Academy is now medevacing people as we speak, right? Like that's happening live, right? As we're talking about this, guys, the Naval Academy just had an
Yep.
active shooter at the academy and they're medevacing people. So as much as we can sit here and, wish for better things, like having that skill set is going to be needed because after this Naval Academy bullshit's over, guess what? There's going to be another fucking active shooter. There's going to be another horrific event. Like this is going to just keep going. So the question is, how many people have to die before law enforcement, before first responders, and before everyday people decide, you know what? I want to protect my family the way I believe they should be protected. That's the only question you have to ask yourself. How much more death has to happen before you take accountability for the ones you love?
Mike, and then I'm going to be pushing back with you. They don't care unless it happens to them personally on their footstep. That's usually how it happens.
No,
Pain
you're right.
retains.
You're right.
I mean, that's the best thing I learned in the military or firefighting or whatever. When I got my ass beat or hazed, I'm like, oh, this fucking sucks. Pain retains.
Pain does
I'm never gonna
retain.
do that. I'm never gonna do that again. Like that oh shit humble. There's been a few times that happened to me post military, before the military, during whatever. I got my ass handed to me on a silver platter. I'm like, that fucking sucked.
Yeah, 100%, man. 100%. And it just hurts because I know so many more lives could be saved. I know it. You know it. Like I don't think people realize like just be honest. You give us an honest assessment here. Your everyday layperson, right, that has no training versus somebody that does have training on an arterial bleed that can be controlled with a tourniquet. Like we're talking about the chances of that person living and dying is literally almost at 100%, right? Somebody that knows how to apply medical interventions versus somebody that's never touched a tourniquet before. Like we're talking about like hypovolemic shock, like bleeding out. That's a real thing, right? Like to tell the people, how real is it that people actually die because they lose too much blood and that blood can't be stopped?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing with like lethal try and all that shit. But like, that's a whole different rabbit hole itself. But yeah, like, there's people that you can pack as much wounds as you want, or if they have internal bleeds. Like, there's some things you can't control, man. Or if it's like aorta or whatever. Like, that's just some. I'd rather you do something than nothing. Back to the Ukraine trained girl versus Charlie. Would you? Let me ask you this: would you be able to save the Ukraine girl?
Man, that would be tough, but I would at least try.
Yeah, because he got stabbed in the neck too, I believe.
Yeah, no, I would at least, here's the thing. I would at least try, and at least I know I have the training that I'm going to immediately, like as soon as I saw that blood, I am pulling him off the X. I am applying as much pressure as possible. I'm grabbing it. Like I'm doing whatever I can, and I'm telling the people, like, we need to go now. I'm not moving my hand. I'm not relieving this pressure. Pick him the fuck up and let's go.
Or you
Guns
can make it
out, we're running.
Or you can bring more guns to the fight. What I mean by that is a force multiplier. You take a shirt or towel, like, hey, you, put this whole pressure here while I do this. Or, hey, you, call 911. Just like AHA or Red Cross, just like, you, go get the AED.
100%
Whatever.
no, absolutely. But I'm just saying, in a situation like that, I'm just telling you what I'm like. If I was there for Charlie and I was there somehow, I'm immediately pulling him off the X, grabbing pressure, and I'm telling people we need to run really fast. I'm not relieving this pressure. Like we're going now.
Let them go.
Get your guns up, fire in the belly. We're moving. Like that's just
Yeah.
it is what it is. I C-spine, I don't care. None of this other stuff I care about. Like because I know that shooter has shot and he's on the move. He's running. The highest likelihood is he's out of there, right? And that's what you're getting paid to do. You're getting paid to protect your principal, right? So, that's just that immediately that's where my mind goes, and this isn't me armchair quarterbacking. This is just me telling you what I do in real life. So it's just, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
It's, what do you do?
There's also medics that probably give them fluid in the suburb, so the car they took them in, and probably like rather there. I mean, let's be honest. There's paramedics out there and nurses that would drive push fluids rather than stop the bleeding, and that's another issue. That's like
Right.
everyone wants to do the cool, sexy stuff or the ALS stuff, but they don't master the BLS stuff.
So
And
let's
everyone
talk
that's
about let's talk about that, right? Because I'm sure a lot of people are like, okay, like so let's take a cocky SAR corpsman, right? What I used to be. Let's take a cocky SAR corpsman, right? Well, I'm immediately going to go into intraosseous, right? I'm going to go into IO chest. So he's going to do a chest IO fast one, right? He's immediately going to fast one, pushing fluid. Why is that stupid?
because you're gonna turn them in the Kool-Aid.
Exactly. You're gonna the blood clotting factors are gonna go away. So here's a great question. If you had the money, right? So if you had Charlie Kirk's money, hypothetically, what kind of medical equipment would you have on standby? Would you have blood? Would you have platelet? Like, what would you have on standby? Like, if you could choose, like, think about it. I'm not saying anybody important is going to watch this, but let's say a Candace Owens, let's say some important comment, a Glenn Beck, let's say somehow finds this and they're like, okay, you guys are talking a bunch of crap. What would you do if you had the money I had? What would you have on standby? You tell me.
So, like my clients for Triple Canopy, Iraq Embassy, they have paramedics that are on the PSS PSD team. Granted, they're not allowed to have cat tourniquets, which is retarded, but people do, that's the whole thing itself. They have soft T tourniquets, whatever. But they also, like, I even talked to a few of them, they're like, yeah, sometimes we don't carry a fucking monitor with us, whatever. We just have bare bones stuff, and then we have all the meds and stuff in the car. Whatever. You can have all the bells and whistles you want, but if you don't have training, you don't have knowledge, nor do you have experience, it's just like me being a LARPer, buying all this Gucci shit, buying a $40,000 fucking quad or all this other shit, or having like a Mark 18 suppressed with no training. Like that's like
So,
me going up
well,
to the
that's
Navy
what I'm
SEAL.
saying. If you have the money to hire you, right? If you have the money, so you have an expendable budget. You have the money to get all the stuff you need. What is an expert going to do to keep themselves alive? If you knew, hey, you have a $1 million, $2 million budget. You're about to go do the speech. Jack, you're getting shot in the fucking neck, right? What do you want to have? What do you want to have? What do you want there? Do
Guys,
you want
guys like you, or guys who've been there and done that.
So what kind of equipment? Like tell these again. If a Glenn Beck is watching, right, or somebody important is watching, a Candace Owens, whoever, if they're watching this, what should they have? They
You
should
can
have a medic.
literally, you can literally have IFACs that are worth $30 to $200 that everybody can carry or do EDC with, and that would have quick clot, gauze, tourniquets, whatever, like that you can conceal in your fucking cop uniform, whatever. I mean, Focus Research, I'll give a shout out to them. They, even though some of their stuff is quote unquote pricey, you can literally have a vacuum sealed IFAC under your plate, and it's like a half a pound. Like there is so many resources out there. If you think you're gonna get fucked up, you can hire people who can help you in case you do get fucked up. You gotta invest in not only yourself but your people. So if I was having all that money, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna pay somebody like you with research. Like, hey, Mike, what do you think we should have? Well, Jack, I think we should have. Everybody should at least have 2 to 4 tourniquets on them. Everyone should have EDC med kits. Everyone should have a uniform march algorithm for the gear so they know where everything is. Everyone should have a med kit, or something where, like, even some of my cop friends, they have a crash. They call it a crash kit, or like a oh shit bag. Everyone should have like an oh shit bag nearby, or oh shit bag at the problem with the thing I noticed with cops, especially, they put the oh shit bags in their cruisers. I'm like, okay, but if you know if it's the oh shit moment, probably should bring the oh shit bag with you. Same with the oh shit AR, or oh shit, like there's actually like backpacks you could pull up with like body armor, all this like bells and whistles, all this crazy shit that came up over the years, but nobody utilizes it. Same with drones. Have a drones for Overwatch. Hey, shot came from there. Boom, you can get like a fucking $200 drone up in the sky. or like there's cops here that are 107 pilots here. I would have a medic like you, someone that's a 107 drone pilot doing Overwatch, and somebody doing Overwatch on the rooftops, and like detail that's like right next to me. I mean, if you look at all the world leaders, I mean, they have like Secret Service, all that shit. They have all the bells and whistles. So mimic their shit, for people that have been given death threats from day one, and go from there.
See, you brought up a
That I mean,
yeah. Again, you're reading my mind. I was exactly going to say that. Um, I agree. I think it's the basics that save. I think we need to stop being apologetic for training, apologetic for having that readily accessible, right? Because there's this, and I hate to say it, there is this feeling within law enforcement that, well, if I carry this gear on me instead of being in my car, it means I'm expecting something bad to happen. It's like, I hate to break it to you, you're the most ignorant person I know because bad things are supposed to happen. That's why you have a job. Like, I don't think cops realize. And again, I get it, like the superstitious shit, but we got to get over that. Like the reason why you have a badge and gun is because your job is to respond to people who are unwilling or unable to help themselves. Like your whole job, the whole purpose of your job is catalyst behind this nexus that the worst day is supposed to happen and you're supposed to fix it, right? So I've never understood cops with that mentality.
because they haven't been humbled yet, Mike. They haven't been
I get it.
humbled.
I get it. And so I agree. I think having the training, having access to this gear that's readily available, and having access to this gear that's on every person is a force multiplier. And then you have to combat with technology what you lack in manpower. And people don't realize that. Anybody that's done executive protection will tell you this. Like what I lack in manpower, I have to make up in technology. So the drone technology, we know it's there, right? You can easily put 4 or 5 drones overhead circling that immediately have access to AI and immediately have access to, if a gunshot goes off, you can literally have robots that fly around. You have these UAVs that are immediately targeting the area which that person is shot and can immediately toggle in and follow him everywhere it goes. Like he literally can't get away because there is a drone that's on his ass. We know that. We
That's what they
utilize
do
this
in
technology already.
that's what they do in Ukraine and Gaza. That's what they do in Ukraine and Gaza.
Yeah, we have this technology. So again, I don't think any important people are watching this, but if you're that important and you're worth what Charlie Kirk is worth, or your life is worth it, why are
Hire
you not
us.
making up technology with manpower? I
I'm
have
joking.
no idea why you're not doing it. I don't.
No, because again, ignorance, arrogance, ignorance, all that other alphabet soup. I mean, all the stuff we've been talking about last podcast
I
is now. Like
I don't get it.
again, it's people that haven't been humbled or never had an oh shit moment in their life like that.
Yeah,
And you and I had a
but
few oh shit moments, both military and civilian. So
too many. And so I just it hurts just because, you know, I don't think anybody should be killed for their viewpoints, right? Especially not in America. But Americans need to wake up and realize that this is here. It's not going away. If you think there's not going to be another copycat shooting, like, and here's the sad part: we know things are going to escalate. So
yep.
knowing this, America viewers, what are you going to do? Because there's a lot of viewers that watch me that don't like cops. I get it. So the question is, what training are you going to provide yourself, and how are you going to take care of yourself? I get it. You don't like cops. All cops are bad. Whatever. Cool. How are you going to protect yourself? Do you have these advanced skill sets? Because if you don't, you need to start looking for them. Because the world isn't getting any better. And I'm the first one to say that we need reform for our first responders. Our first responders need to be better. I'll be the first one to say it, and I'll be the first one to get criticized for it. I don't care. It's the truth.
Well, not just reform, whatever, but just utilize people like us, or utilize. I know there's shithead veterans out there. I get that. But there's also veterans like me and you that try to give back to society with our experiences. Be like, look, the Navy spent a lot of money on me and you. Why don't we like actually like help them transition to a job that they're good with? Same with fire and police. Like, why the fuck do we need to go through a full academy when we've done a lot of shit? Same with EMS. Like, why the fuck? Like a lot. It was so annoying going back to school. I get it, formalities, lawyers, all that stuff, but like it comes to the point where there's too many chiefs but not Indians, and there's too many bureaucracies. There's too many dipshits who are calling the shots, who never leave the wire, never leave their homes, or never put themselves in harm's way as much as we have. And it's until people have bad shit happen to them, nothing's going to change. It has to happen right at their doorstep. I guarantee when Trump got shot in the ear, he right away. Next day, we had a little bandage. He had guys my size, your size, protecting him, rather than some little cop shit.
Yeah,
Like that,
no, I'm sure
right
things.
there.
I'm
There you
sure.
go.
I'm sure things change. So let me ask you one more. Let me ask you one more thing about that because I feel like I glossed over it. That was my fault. Um, and again, this is nothing about the battle of the sexes. This is just reality. Um, I think it's important. I've met guys and I've trained guys that, hey man, they can put tourniquets on real quick. They're really good with bedside manner. They're really good with pressure dressings. But these people are either they're a female that's a buck 10, or they're a guy that's grossly obese and overweight. And it's like, I hate to break it to you.
I mean,
Yes,
I'm obese, but yeah.
yeah, but no, I get it. But you're really good at in a stationary place. You're really good at putting the
But I
tourniquet
could
on.
pick you up in the
You're,
110-pound chick. That's for
but
damn sure. Like,
but
shit the
are
fan, I can
you?
get you the fuck out of there.
Yeah, but I think the Charlie Kirk shooting is great. Like, can you get him from where he's at to half a football field away where the car is at? How long is that going to take you? And you saw the video. They had six guys carrying him, and they all looked smoked.
Yeah.
And
And
they're
then
you
he
know
didn't
their
have,
adrenaline was
and
going.
he didn't have body armor on too. Imagine you have full body armor.
Yeah,
Because I remember some of these women, and that's the thing. There's some badass women I served with, and there's some badass women that were killers that I met in my life, especially contractors. But there's a few of them because I'm a big guy, but there's guys bigger than me or a guy like you. I'm like, let me ask you this, and let's say they're like this and that. I'm like, all right, let's say Mike gets hit and he's your partner. Can you take him from point A to point B? No, I can't. Why?
110%, 110%.
And I get it. There's some big guys in our field. There's guys bigger than me out there. But again, like at the same time, if you can't carry your own weight or you can't get that person from point A to point B, I mean, granted, yeah, you're probably gonna blow out your butthole or have an hemorrhoid or hurt yourself, but like same with me. Like I picked up some really big people over the years. Like pretty sure I hurt my back like trying to help people, but dude, like there's some big fucking people out there. There's people like Jabba the Hutt covering their own shit.
110%, 110%. Yeah, 110%. And so I think that we can't forget the health aspect of this. We can't forget the health and conditioning side. Again, you can have all the tactical gear in the world. You can have taken all the NRA pistol courses you want. But if push comes to shove and your son, daughter, wife gets hit and you can't get them from point A for the X, right, where the injury happened to a place where you can get them to a higher level of care, I hate to
PCP,
break
yep.
it to you. I hate to break it to you, brother. Like you failed. And I don't mean that disrespectfully, but you have respectfully, you have failed because you can do all the right stuff, but if you are unable to get them from where they are to where they need to be, and you haven't taken this into consideration, I hate to break it to you, your lack of training and ability has killed the person you love. It's that
Well, let me
important.
ask you this, Mike. Let me ask you this. You know what I also tell people, especially somebody today that's like, "Oh, I'm going to Ukraine with no military medical background." I'm like, buddy, you need to talk to my Merc buddies in Poland or Ukraine that've been there and done that because you will fucking die. You can have all the training in the world, but if you can't dodge an FPV drone with a brick of C4, you're fucked. You can be operator X, but like
Well,
some nerd on a computer far away, be like, okay, cool, there's Mike.
that's
Oh, Mike
that's
just
it.
got
Let
my
me let me
detachment. It's
ask you
like,
an honest question. Let me ask you an honest question. How soon before we start seeing drone warfare against citizens in this country? How
oh,
soon before we?
dude, it's already happening. Dude, there's people dropping off. There's drones here that were dropping off shit to the prisoners in the prisons here. There are people
No, I
dropping off.
mean, when do you think we're going to see our first attack with a drone here in the U.S.?
It's already happened. You know why? Because here's I'll give you another scenario. So when I was in Kent State, I met my friend Gabe Atchison there for the first time. He's a SWAT medic up north. He was a Marine, early OIF. He was a grunt before that. We went through this class, even though a lot of it was decent, but a lot of it was death by PowerPoint, and they were showing clips of like Call of Duty, of, like drone and stuff. I'm like, oh my fucking god, I can pull up drone videos better than Ukraine from this. But anyway, supposedly this is rumor that the shooter for Trump used a drone to size up the area, and I can see that happening too, where people size up the area with a
Oh,
drone, like,
for
oh, that
sure.
seems like a good area to set up. It's already happening. Bad guys have drones. And when I was supposed to go to Haiti before that got canked, when I had the whole cancer scare and all that bullshit, and they found more shrapnel in my body, I was doing a PT test or whatever. They wanted me to go down with the M9, the shotgun. Like, why the fuck are we calling the shotgun? Well, guess what? The shotguns for Haiti were for drones. The bad guys have drones there in Haiti. I didn't know that. They
So
use it for
If Haiti bad guys have drones, there's bad guy drones here.
Oh, there's bad guy drones here. Cartels have drones. The cartels were using drones to fuck with the border patrol. It's already been happening.
Right. No, that's a great point. You're 100% on point there. So what do you, if you had to, right? If we're gonna do just a quick summary of findings here. What what are the takeaways from this shooting that you want the people to know? Like what do you want people to know?
Study your history. It's nothing new. It's going to keep happening because we keep repeating history. Study all these shootings, all these like sniper shootings, all these active shooters from schools. It's not going away. And they're learning from each other. They're all talking. They're either talking to each other or they're studying from each other.
100%. I think the biggest takeaways that I want people to know from this is history is repeating itself. This is not going away. As we're talking, we have midshipmen that are probably lost their lives. I don't know. They're being medevaced as we speak. And so you're right. This is not going away. So how are you going to prepare yourself? And how are you going to
I
protect
got
your
something.
family? Go ahead.
So for all you cops and firefighters out there, so look up the West Liberty High School shooting. That was the first paid department I worked on. Actually, I wasn't on duty that day, but my chief was one on Neil D. Compton saved his life. But anyway, that shooting alone proved that there was too many Chiefs behind Indians. The issues they had in that shooting in that school when a kid blasted another kid with a shotgun, he wore for V from Vendetta mask. I said "fuck you" on it. He basically didn't make the wrestling team. Popped on the pit stop for a week, couldn't join the military senior year. It was a super Bible thumper town, and they pissed him off. So he got, I believe, a shotgun from his dad or whatever. It was like bird shot or whatever. But the thing with that shooting, and I wish they would release the after action reports, which people need to read the after action reports for each shooting, especially ones that are kind of shady, like Route 91. So many departments don't do that. They need to read the after action reports for not only military, but bad events. And I'm curious with Charlie and the Ukraine girl, what's their after action report? What really went down? Because the takeaway with West Liberty is even though the kid that he shot ended up talking the shooter out, kill himself or shooting others, stalled him before the cop nabbed him. But the cop on scene who I know, this big dude who used to get Mountain Dew, he was a diabetic, he was a big dude. He's like, I felt like I was being hunted and I wasn't the hunter. And that stuck with me. It was like, holy shit. And also, state troopers, local cops, FBI, all these fucking assholes were dick measuring. It was like, it was pre Uvalde. And people need to watch videos from Uvalde and all these other shootings too. If you actually see the terrible shit and read the after action reports, like, how can we not look like this or not have this happen to us? I mean,
100% agree. 100% agree. 100% agree.
because again, if those shooters knew what they were doing, a lot of these first responders, people respond, they'd be fucked.
100%, and so for me, I agree. We realize that these shootings, these horrible incidences are not going away. Assume every place you go has law enforcement that is unable to address the chaos that's there, right? And understand, okay, what am I going to do? How am I going to keep my family safe? And most importantly, look for the training. Get trained. Here's the thing that people need to realize. Again, I'm calling out a large swath of people, and this is probably going to get this video canceled, and that's fine. Everybody wants to talk about how, oh, we have the Second Amendment to fight tyranny and this and that. I hate to break it to you, man. I really do, and I don't mean this disrespectfully. It's just the truth. If you want to protect yourself against tyranny or against evil in general, that requires you to be competent. And
Yep.
warfare, as you know it, is more than just the bullets. It's the beans, it's the medicine, it's everything else. So if all you know how
Beans,
to
balls,
do,
band-aids, bad guys.
yeah, if all you know how to do is shoot at a paper target, you're not going to win any wars. And I don't care how much militia training or militia garbage you watch on
Or
YouTube,
18 Delta. You
you're
can be
not
18.
going to win.
You can be Special Forces X, but that's cool. If I have a drone with a brick of C4, all right, cool.
And again, at the end of the day, this is what it comes down to, man. Like, if you really care about all the things that you claim you care about, and all you know how to do is shoot a paper target, I hate to break it to you, you're not gonna win anything.
Well,
You're not
also
gonna be able to protect your family from anything.
the paper target stands still. Now try shooting a moving target that's well equipped, that has body armor too, that's ready to fuck you up.
And we have, and it's funny. Funny thing is, we have United States Supreme Court case law precedent for officers, right? We have one out of Oklahoma that basically it's a Supreme Court case precedent that states officers, you don't do the required training necessary to even use force. So until you get that training, keep your fucking guns holstered. Like, there's a legit Supreme Court case precedence on that out of Oklahoma City because officers do not train in on moving targets and low light encounters. And the Supreme Court literally said, Oklahoma City, you are so incompetent, you need to keep your guns in your holsters until you do better training. That it's a legit Supreme Court case precedence. And so if you're an everyday citizen and you want a raw Second Amendment, raw, but you're not doing any of the training and you don't have any of the competencies, just save your breath because, again, your opinion is beneath all of us.
Well, it made me laugh when T-Rex firearms, all these other dipshits went away because, like, I think again, everybody wants to be like a cool guy, 18 Delta or 18. It just looks like a cool guy with operators, and it's again identity crisis. It's like, dude, who are you fooling, man? Like, it's again, there's so many people that are untrained that are fucking up not only cops and firefighters, but just military even. I mean,
Yeah, it's it's
it's
it's wild.
if
Oh,
somebody wants to be vindictive and attack soft targets, they can and will.
yeah,
They can
no,
take it. They can take a car. They don't even need a gun. You can take a car, run a bunch of people over, which that has happened too. Same with France and America and all these other places. Somebody took a big old truck and just started running over a crowd of people.
100% agree. 100% agree. Man, I appreciate you making time. Um, if you guys don't know, I will post all of Jack's stuff in the description box below. Go find him. Go reach out to him. If you really care, honestly, if you have a family and you say in public that you care about them, you need to at least reach out and see what he does, right? You guys need training. We all need training. We all need to be better. But if you see these injuries and you are like, I have no idea what to do, seek the knowledge. The knowledge is there. Again, like we talked in the last podcast, Jack does not. He's the only person that I can vouch for in real life that does he besides myself, of course, but I'm just going to refer you to him. He doesn't gatekeep. He's not going to gatekeep. He's going to give you what you need to know, and he does not care about the accolades of all the other stuff. Again, he doesn't even like it when I come on here and I just read his resume. He doesn't even like it. I can't even read his resume without him logging off.
Well, I
This is
can't
the
even
guy you
read.
need
No,
to
I'm
talk
kidding.
to. This is the guy you need to talk to. Again, he's not going to gatekeep. He's going to give you the real stuff. He trains the best of the best. There's no other person I would rather have on me if I got hit. This is the guy I want. I'm going to post his stuff down in the description box below. Go look at it. Go look at what he does. Think about training. Again, this stuff isn't going away. History's going to repeat itself. You might as well be prepared. You got any last words for us, Jack?
Sounds good. Well,
Give
I
us some
mean,
knowledge.
everybody, everybody that's watching this podcast, just understand that our enemies are watching us. They have Google, they have technology too. So be unpredictable, but also don't be too predictable that the enemies know your every move.
There you go. I love it. All right, brother. Well, I appreciate you coming out as always. I love this. For those of you out there, again, just go check his website out. Just go look at what he does. Think about training, and just realize, like, if you want real training, if you want it unfiltered, and you want what really works, this is the guy. Again, I'm not trying to down other people, but nobody has the resume he has. Like, not even Tim Kennedy, right? So if you want the real thing, he's
Or
right
the
here.
sheriff of Baghdad or whatever. Like
He's right here, right?
that's so
He
crazy. These
posts
assholes lied.
he posts his
I'm glad we
receipts on his
spent.
website.
I'm glad we spent billions, millions of dollars on people. Like, I mean, each of those guys are probably worth a lot of money. And they, why would you lie? Like that. That still kills me to this day. Like, why? I
Jack
mean,
posts all his receipts on his website, so you can see the receipts. He has them on the websites. Go check them out. Um, well, I hope this video was helpful for you guys. And as always, guys, long live the Republic.